when the great Japanese master Dogen came back from China in about the year 1200 to bring his school of Zen into Japan, they asked him, "What did you learn in China?" He said, "The eyes are horizontal, the nose is perpendicular." This man went on to write a tremendous book about Zen. They're so contradictory, these people. Don't expect consistency out of a Zen master. Big book called the Shobo Genzo. I talked with the Zen master about this book in Japan, and he said, "Oh," he said, "that's a terrible book. It explains everything so clearly. It gives the show away." He said, "You don't need any book for Zen." So you see, it is this kind of way of going about things, this method of Zen, that has so fascinated the West. And everybody who reads about Zen wonders if somehow, you see, this understanding is right under your nose. You know how it is, sometimes you get a crowd of people to come into a room, and you put something in the room that's absurd. Like suppose there was a balloon floating on the ceiling. People could come in and not notice it at all. Or, somebody puts on something weird, some kind of a funny necktie or something. And you say to a person, "Well, haven't you noticed?" A woman in a new dress, you know? "Haven't you noticed?" I said, "Well, no, what is it? What about it?" It's right under your nose. They're staring you in the face, but you don't see it. And Zen is exactly like that. It is very obvious. The master Bokuju was asked, "We have to dress and eat every day, and how do we escape from all that? In other words, how do we get out of routine?" And he said, "We dress, we eat." He said, "I don't understand." Bokuju said, "If you don't understand, put on your clothes and eat your food." Another Zen master in quite recent times was interviewing a student. You see, all these stories I'm telling you are connected, and what I want you to do is to grasp intuitively the connection. I was interviewing a student, Western student, and he said, "Get up and walk across the room." He got up and walked and came back and said, "Where are your footprints?" Another monk asked Joshu, "What is the way?" Tao, in Chinese. Tao. He said, "Your everyday mind is the way. How do you get into accord with it?" He said, "When you try to accord, you deviate." So, here is this extraordinary phenomenon. Now let me say, having presented you with all these fireworks, let me say a few sober things about Zen as a historical phenomenon. Zen is a subdivision of Mahayana Buddhism. And as you know, that is the school of Buddhism which is concerned with realizing Buddha nature in this world. Not necessarily by going off to the mountains or by renouncing family life, everyday life, etc., as if that were an entanglement, but realizing in the midst of life the possibility of becoming a Buddha. And so the great ideal personality of Mahayana Buddhism is the Bodhisattva, a word now applied to somebody who has attained nirvana, but instead of disappearing, comes back in many, many guises